We have a picture. We have your picture. Pre and post. Do we have it? There you are.
Back in 2003.
And you're looking slim today.
Slimmer.
Okay, slimmer. Okay, so what'd you do?
Well, I think the first thing we did was realize what the big problem was. So both Rob and I, we were obese. But it wasn't, and our problem was that we didn't need more nutritional information, right? We knew that salad was good for us. We knew that we were eating too much burgers, fries, pizza. We needed to cut down on what we ate. And so realizing that was a number one. We needed to self-impose eating austerity. And we needed something that was sustainable. Opting for some short-term diet, you know, whether it be shakes or this or that, it just wasn't going to work. People regain the weight when they do the short-term thing. What you need is a long-term solution that recognises the big problem, abundance.
So what about economics helped you diet? Is this a supply and demand thing?
Well,
elasticity of your pants thing?
Well, that certainly doesn't help when you're feeling, you know, them getting tighter. It's an economic problem, and that's what we're trying to say. It's, you know, most people watching this show who want to lose a few pounds don't need more nutritional information or science. They need to realise that we have had a food processing revolution that goes back to the 1970s. It's all about better storage, looking after food better. It makes cheaper more abundant. It makes it cheap. Price comes down. There's more of it. So you recognise, first of all, that it's an economic problem. Then you realise that you're self-imposing eating austerity, which is basically scarcity, right? It's a problem about choice. How do you change your behaviour? And that's when we bring in behavioural economics. So our number one tip, and I'll tell you this now, you've got to weigh yourself every single day in the morning. You've got to connect your behaviour with how much you weigh, and you've got to break through the tunnel vision, that bad thinking that comes when you're experiencing scarcity. It's like being short of money, short of time. Same thing when you're dieting. You don't think clearly. You start out the day, you want to be on a diet.
Some people, the scale can create great anxiety, though.
If you can't measure it, you can't manage it, right? I mean, people investing in stocks, they know that.
I weigh myself every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I do too, but I know people who really don't.
Carbohydrates in our society are inexpensive. Proteins cost a lot more, but have a much healthier and less caloric count to them. So this is about money at the end of the day.
Well, there's certainly... I mean, there's very much an element of truth to that. We actually, ourselves, with our experiments, realised that eating too much pizza, carbohydrates, was definitely bad. You see it on the scale the following morning. You'll gain a couple of pounds if you have 3 or 4
but what
slices.
about willpower? That seems to me to be, selfishly, that's I was at lunch yesterday, and they brought a basket of bread. And you know what happened to that basket of bread within about 5 minutes? It was...
Me too.
I inhaled the bread. In the same way they bring these things in front of us, and you guys watch the show. You know what happens.
Well, also, from an economic perspective, food is cheaper than it's ever been.
That's our point. Yeah. So you're having to behave as if food is scarce. So we have many tips in the book, but for instance, me and Rob, my co-author, we were overweight because we loved eating. I still eat all the bread that comes in front, but we've learned one behaviour. You've got to budget, right? You've got to think to yourself, well, if I'm having a big lunch, I've got to skip dinner. Listen to your body. We used to have 3 square meals all the time.
How much mind share in a given day do you think you apportion to food and dieting and all of that?
Well, I'd take a few minutes.
Anytime I've ever really gone on a quote-unquote diet or gone into a whole workout situation, I say a third of my life all of a sudden is consumed with what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, whether I'm going to all of this, and it becomes very difficult to do it all the time.
Well, you have to put the attention in if you actually want to lose weight and keep it off. I would say this, exercise is great, right? Fantastic, healthy, but we don't rely. We have never relied on exercise to lose weight exercise, you're not going to keep up for the rest of your life on some mad exercise regime. Actually, when I did a lot of exercise, do you know what happened? I got hungrier. So that didn't help me lose weight. So number one, if I do exercise, I'm not doing it because I think I'm losing weight. Right. So you can take that mental time away. You have to think about it, but in everything, you have to come off autopilot eating, right? If you want to save money for the future, you have to think about what you're spending. I mean, as economists, we have to think about benefits now, costs in the future. That's life.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.